if you were an astronaut, I forgot where I saw this, dude. Wish I remember so I could put the link up to it. If you were an astronaut and you were hurtling towards a black hole, right? Before you got sucked into the black hole, like when you were on the event horizon portion of it, right,
Mm-hmm.
right outside, the pretty much the point of no return. The moment you cross that point, you would see yourself twice, right? You would see yourself in the center of the black hole being crushed to death, right, at a molecular level.
Yeah.
But you would also see yourself outside of the black hole, not being crushed to death.
All right, welcome to this week's episode of Two Dummies and a Microphone with your host, John and Lucas.
What up?
What's happening, man? Good for you to be back. I know you were traveling for a while. So
Yeah, I was. I was in Hawaii twice this month. I can tell you that I'm not used to flying into Hawaii. Like I've never flown in there, ever.
I've never been to Hawaii. So, I mean, I've never.
I mean, you sailed in with us. Like you
Well,
didn't get to leave.
yeah, but I mean, I didn't step off the ship is what I didn't do. So
you didn't get to leave, but
yeah, no.
yeah, no. Flying in was definitely different. This they're toning back on COVID, so the next time I go, it won't be as intense, but it's an experience. I haven't flown this much in a long time, like since Pascagoula, essentially.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's a 7-hour flight from here. So flew in Monday, came back Friday, and then last week I flew in Monday, came back Thursday. Right.
That's like back to back.
Oh, I was back to back. I was only home for the weekend. Like that was it.
Good night.
So I'll take a little break next week, and then I'll be flying out again. Back to Japan though, which I am excited to go back there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm super jealous. Like, 'cause you get to go there for like funsies. Like,
It's
I mean,
not,
I know that you're working, but like,
it's not really funsies. Like the job in of itself is cool. Like I enjoy being a assessor on board ships, like going
yeah,
on board, seeing the sailors show their equipment. A lot of times they're like proud, sometimes they're confused.
that's funny.
Sometimes like they come in with this defeatist attitude and like the stuff starts working and you can see like their confidence start to build up,
Yeah,
which is also pretty cool. But when they're ill prepared, that's what makes it shitty because I'm not doing anything. I'm
yeah,
waiting. I'm literally sitting and waiting for however long it takes them to set up to show me the next check.
yeah. No, I remember that. Like, you always just try and keep everybody busy.
Mm-hmm. That's normally the rule, right? Keep your assessors busy. Otherwise, they like wander around and start looking for stuff. And I was like, oh, they're wandering around looking for stuff because they're trying to be assholes. No,
Bored.
We're bored. We are so bored. Right. We are so bored. But yeah, so if they're not prepared, I normally leave late because I want to get them to demonstrate as much as possible.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of the name of the game. I don't care about anything else other than the equipment and making sure that it operates. But that means that there's not enough time for funsies afterwards, right? It's not like I'm getting off at 2:00 and get to hit happy hour and then hang out on the beach all day. No, it's
That'd
not
be dope
that.
though.
That would be. I'm definitely going to try to make time in Japan though. I've been craving real ramen for weeks, months even.
Yeah. No, you leave Japan and it's like, I want actual Japanese food again.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember saying, I think it was here. I said I didn't like the sushi over there, or maybe it was over the phone as much as, yeah, your eyes got all big. Like,
Yeah.
what
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
why are you saying that? Like,
Because
you're
I
in the
didn't, dude.
epicenter of
You are.
sushi.
You are at the epicenter of sushi. Okay. And maybe this is what we get into today. Right. Maybe this is it.
Maybe.
And I'm not talking about sushi. I'm talking about the experience of where you try something for the first time. For me, it was sushi in San Diego, right? As an adult.
Yeah.
And it may not have been the best sushi, right? But I prefer that American style rolls with a lot of stuff going on, right?
You like the flavor explosion in your mouth.
Yes. In Japan, though, they don't like that.
No, it's simplicity.
sacrilege, dude.
Yeah.
It's get this the fuck out of here. This is this isn't
You get
sushi,
fish,
right?
wasabi, and some rice.
Yeah, and then you can't put the. I mean, really, when I say you can't, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's your food. You're gonna put it in your mouth, but you
Yeah.
shouldn't put the soy sauce on the rice. You need to put it on the fish, right? Same thing
Yeah.
with the wasabi. Like you can't jack up the rice because they spend years years learning how to make the perfect sushi rice.
They do. And it's like, so me and my wife started watching this Korean drama called 2521 on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's so funny to me how other countries' cultures are, because the story, like just a little bit of the backstory, right? So this mom has a daughter who is a ballerina, and she doesn't want to do ballet anymore. And so
Mm-hmm.
she runs away from home to go to her grandmother's house and finds her mom's old diary and talks about how her mom got into fencing and was into all these MAGA, is it MAGA or manga comic books?
Manga with an M.
Manga. Yeah, they're Korean, so I don't know if it's the same thing. Um,
I don't
yeah.
know. It
Well,
should be.
she's into
It
all
should
these
be.
comic books, and she meets this boy and they become friends. But the thing is that the boy is older only by like 2 or 3 years, right? But since he's an elder, he's treated with so much different respect. Like they call him sir and all this. I'm like, there's
Just
no,
because he's older, like
just
not by
because he's
much.
older. Yeah, no.
Like,
Like, and this was the mom's part of the story takes place in like 1998, and like the high schoolers are yes sir, no sir, like bowing to him, showing him respect, and there's none of that anywhere else in America. Like if you graduate from high school and you're 20, some 16-year-old's not going to call you sir unless you know.
no, they're not. In fact, they might just call you a weak ass bitch or something like that. Try to challenge you or something. I don't know. Culturally, it is weird, dude. It is weird.
And I was talking to her about it last night when we were watching TV. I think because like we have no history, like in America, like we're all a melting pot of people and we all come from different backgrounds. And there's no real lineage to the history. Like the Koreans have been around for how long?
I mean,
The
I don't know.
Japanese have been around for how
Yeah,
long? Like they have
a
that
long
history.
time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that they don't have that history because you're right. It is a melting pot, right? And culturally, it'll be uh, very, very different, right?
Yeah.
But within each little group, so you have the Pennsylvania Dutch, right? You have
Hmm.
everyone Appalachia. They all started somewhere, whether it was England, Germany, even Asia, dude. We had a ton of Chinese immigrants here helping build the railroads, right?
Yeah. And the Irish.
It
Don't forget the Irish.
and the Irish, right? The Mormons, all of them, and they all have their own history, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have none, right? It's just that we're not as homogenous. So you
Yeah.
probably see that sort of thing in communities where like that elder sibling has that kind of respect, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Right.
know. I've never really been.
Maybe you're just not in that community.
Yeah, I mean, that could be.
Um, I know for me, it's the patriarch and matriarch, right? Like the oldest
Yeah.
family member, like my grandmother, my mom's side was that person
Yeah.
where everyone congregated to her house, right? Everything happened around her kind of purview. And then from there it falls to like the older siblings after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
that's gonna be you one day.
who me? Yeah. It sure.
Well, I mean, you're the
If
oldest out
I
of
am the
three. I
oldest, but
mean,
I am not the see, I don't want to say I'm not the one that it would be. I'm the one that moves around the most.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm never in one
For now,
spot.
though, like you're not like your parents are still alive. So I mean, like
For now,
you
my
still have
parents are still
them.
alive. It's Connecticut. Like that's where we would call home, right?
Yeah.
But once my parents retire and move back to Brazil to their like dope ass house they have down there, right? Is it going to be Brazil? Is it going to be Connecticut?
I
You know
don't
what I
know,
mean?
man.
Like
Yeah.
there's no one owns any property out there. Like I own a property up in Washington, but that's way too far from Brazil
Yeah.
to head up. I got some in my mouth right now. Yeah, but I don't know what it was. I think it was a piece of my mustache, which is coming
That's
back.
funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know, right? My brother Phil is in Florida. It might be down there. We all just go to Phil's house, and he's
Yeah.
the youngest.
Little role reversal right there.
Yeah, a little role reversal. It might just be the most convenient person, or
The best weather.
the best weather, or
Cheapest
the
gas.
dude. So I read an article last week. San Diego has surpassed San Francisco as the most expensive place to live.
Dude, I wanted to buy a bicycle last time I felt it. It was $425. I know it's more expensive in San Diego, but
Dude, it's
I
like
wanted to I
610
wanted
out
to
here.
buy a bicycle. It's $6.
It's over $6. Over $6. It is past.
How can you afford to live there?
I can't.
Not like you, but just like regular people. Like,
dude, even like me right now, right? Like
and
I
people
can't
still drive
afford.
everywhere.
You have to, right? You have to. But yeah, it's super expensive out here. Like we take my wife's car everywhere. I can't drive the truck. That thing is too expensive,
Yeah.
right? But it's good, dude. There's a huge boom for people buying more electric vehicles, right?
Yeah, but you know what's funny is I don't know if I sent you the meme or if I put it on the Instagram or whatever it is, but like there's gonna be electric vehicles that break down or people forget to charge them.
Yeah,
And there's gonna be a gas powered car that
I
comes
saw
out to
that.
them. Yeah. I was
I saw
like,
that thing. For
yeah.
now, it'll be gas powered. I think in the future, it'll be an electric powered vehicle.
But you
Has like,
still need like something has to charge the electricity.
yeah, then you wind power, nuclear power, fossil fuel still, but it's just not as many little power plants running around. It's just like one bigger power plant with, because I mean, you worked at a food industry before, right? Like
Yeah.
making one meal for one person takes more money and resources than
Mm-hmm.
expanding it out by a
Yeah.
lot, right? So it's the same thing with power generation. If I have one power plant that can charge 100 cars, it's a lot easier than 100 little engines, right? Making power just for themselves.
Yeah.
But I'm
Oh,
excited because it makes electric cars cheaper,
yeah.
right? So if
It
more
will.
people are buying it, it's going to drive the price down because, or up. I don't know. I don't know how much there is
I mean,
supply wise.
there'll be a monopoly on it. I mean, you either gonna have to buy quantity over quality. And
Yeah.
then lithium mining in and of
There's
itself is
new
harmful
companies
to the
coming up,
planet.
though. It is. And those batteries are sketchy, dude.
Yeah. Like I know
Uh-oh.
there's
It says my internet's unstable.
just like the user. Dude, I don't know what it is, but these
Yeah.
allergies, like it's not even springtime up here. I've been sneezing and my eyes have been itchy. It's been
It's like 80
terrible.
degrees out here, dude.
Yeah, no.
It's
It was a
hot.
high of like 51. It was nice yesterday. I was like wearing a t-shirt and it was like 56 degrees.
No, I wore a tank top to mow the lawn today.
Nice.
Yeah. Shorts and my Crocs. I have long Crocs. I don't have yard shoes. It's Crocs that I wear to do yard work.
Yeah, no, I still haven't had a chance to cut the grass or get outside. I made a fire pit and I cooked some steaks on an open fire the other night. Those were pretty bomb.
That's good. I've been this happens every single time I have shore duty. I get really into making stuff with dough,
Yeah.
right? Like bread,
Oh yeah.
tortillas,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I've been channeling my inner Mexican and trying to make tortillas. I've made 2 batches of flour tortillas so far. The first one, not that great. I didn't put enough fat in the dough.
Yeah.
And then the second batch I made was actually really good.
Hmm.
I have a hard time with the salting though. Like I'm always scared of over salting dough.
Oh yeah, I know. I can see that.
Right. And then once you're done, you're like, fuck, I didn't put enough salt in
Yeah.
this. And Belinda made some bread, which is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, try my hand at it again. See if I can make more tortillas. It's not that I don't like buying tortillas. It's just, I don't know.
It's the experience.
It's learning how to do it is really what it is. So that way when I taste one, I'm like, oh, this one is pretty good. They made it with lard. Or no, not as good. They probably
Yeah.
use shortening or olive oil or something.
Have you tried like a old ancient recipe at all?
What do you mean?
like actually getting like stone ground flour and like things that they would use, like the indigenous people would use to make
See,
tortillas?
so no, I have not done that, but it brings me to an interesting video I saw on YouTube like years ago
Oh yeah.
where this dude wanted to make a chicken sandwich from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And when he talked about from scratch, it was from like nothing, right? So he planted the wheat, he
Oh,
grew
he
the wheat.
planted it.
Yeah, he grew
Oh
the wheat.
wow.
He ground the wheat down, right? He raised some chickens, like grabbed their eggs to make the dough and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Or no, there was no eggs in the bread dough that he made. Harvested the chicken for the meat. He grew the lettuce. He grew the tomatoes.
that's
Right.
crazy.
He milked a cow to make the mayonnaise and all that good stuff. Right. He did all this work to make a sandwich. And then once he finally put it together and ate it, it wasn't as good as just buying a store bought
Oh yeah,
sandwich.
no, it's never gonna be. No,
It took him over a year, dude, to just plan this whole thing out.
it's still pretty cool
Uh,
though.
it's cool. Like he went
Yeah,
through the whole process, so now he has an appreciation of every aspect down the line, right?
yeah,
To eat a sandwich that's good. But there's just some things like bread. I don't want to pay that much money for bread if I can make some pretty good bread, right?
yeah. But I mean, like,
It's also fun.
yeah, cost versus yield though.
Mm. My problem is not the cost versus yield because I can make bread cheaper. I can make a loaf of bread or 2 loaves with about 3 cups of flour,
Okay.
right? Which is cheap, real cheap. The problem is that homemade bread does not last as long as store bought bread. And I'm not talking about like it goes bad. I'm talking about my family has no self control when it
Oh
comes to
yeah.
eating homemade bread versus
Oh, for sure.
store bought. Like
Yeah.
one loaf will last the moment it comes out of the oven and then you wait like 5 to 10 minutes. By the end of the night, it will be gone.
Mm.
Right. And you were planning on using it for sandwiches or something down the line, but
Yeah.
no,
No.
it's always gone. It just
Yeah.
makes the
No.
whole house smell good and
Our
delicious.
my kids are like that. I gotta ration out snacks because they're like, can we have a whole of this, a whole of that? I'm like, look, man, if you eat if all three of y'all get a whole one, like, how long is this gonna last us? And they're like, 2 days. I'm like, look, I'm not gonna go back to the store. So like, once this is out, like, it's
It's
done
out.
for two
You
weeks.
eat something else.
Like, it's out for 2 weeks.
That's how Benny is with apples, dude. Like this kid will eat about 3 or 4 apples in an afternoon,
Yeah,
like just always eating them. And it's not like he starts one and throws it out
he
or like
finishes the whole
leaves
thing.
it. Yeah.
Mm.
He eats the entire thing down to the core, right? Like I'll be cleaning and find little shriveled up apple cores behind the couch or something.
Oh man,
Yeah, I never thought I'd spend so much money on apples.
yeah, and they're not getting any cheaper either. I'll tell you that.
No. But back to what I wanted to talk about.
All right.
Trying something inauthentic the first time, like the sushi,
Yeah.
and then you go and try the authentic thing,
Hmm.
right? I sometimes feel, and when I was younger, I felt this way. I felt obligated to like the authentic more than the inauthentic. But the older I get, like this whole sushi thing, I'm not afraid to admit to the world, I don't like sushi in Japan, right? I like it over here, right? There are things that I like way better authentic than inauthentic, but this is just one that I prefer the bastardized version that we have here in the US with the
Yeah.
avocados and shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it like you get more, you can get more flavor into it, and it's more fun to eat.
It's more
Like,
fun to eat. Uh, some people call it like cultural appropriation, but I think it's just more absorbing a culture and then adding your own twist to it, right? Making it kind of your own thing and seeing if people like it,
yeah, I would
right?
call it more fusion than anything.
Yeah, fusion. I could see fusion.
Like
I
culture
think
appropriation. Like, I don't.
yeah, I don't know, dude. People say weird things.
Yeah, I know.
But cooking is just one of those things where no matter what the recipe is, I am a firm believer of you shouldn't do the recipe exactly as written,
Oh yeah, no.
right? You need to change up a little bit to make it your own. Like use it as a roadmap,
Yeah,
right? To get you close to the flavors you're looking for, but then like switch up some things with flavors that you like and see if other people like them as well.
yeah, or leave out things that you don't like.
Yeah, or leave out things that you don't like, right? or
Yeah.
substitute things, dude. Like when I made the tortillas, I didn't have lard because I never have lard at the house. I've never
Yeah.
cooked with lard before in my life,
Uh-huh.
right? But I understand the lard is there for fat, so I just substituted 100 grams of lard for 100 grams of, or 50 grams of canola oil and 50 grams of olive oil,
Hmm.
and it came out pretty good. It didn't have the animal fat flavor that I like because I didn't have the
Yeah.
lard, but it was lighter than the normal low carbs, I guess, or
Yeah.
not. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, yeah, no, I have no idea. But yeah, no, Alexis bought like the Costco size brand of the corn tortillas, and I just been eating, just putting everything inside of a corn tortilla and eating it.
Dude, that is so much corn tortillas. Like I love them, but
It's so
that's a
many.
lot.
Yeah.
Just
Like
quesadillas. Do you do lots of quesadillas?
the kids don't like case like it's funny that you bring that up because Troy hates cheese, but will
Really?
eat a grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay.
Hates peanut butter, but will eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but he won't eat like a Reese's cup because it has peanut butter in it. Um,
Hmm.
but if it's not just cheese, then he'll eat it. But no, I did do some quesadillas. I made some cinnamon brown sugar quesadillas.
Okay.
I'll fry them up and make corn like tortillas, like the chips,
Yep.
and homemade those. And then what was it the other night? We had some shrimp tempura, and I just put those inside of a taco, some hot sauce and some cheese.
Dude, that's Japanese Mexican fusion right there.
Yeah,
It's
there you go.
shrimp taco,
Yeah,
but
breakfast tacos have
tempura
been like
style.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We haven't been in that crazy with it, but you said grilled cheese sandwich, right? I
yeah.
was watching a uh it's like a show on is it his, I think it's either History Channel or Food Network. I can't remember exactly. I think it's History Channel, but bless you.
Thank you. Not done yet. No,
Bless you.
thank you.
It's the food that built America.
I think I've seen that on Netflix.
Dude, yeah, I used to listen to the podcast of it. It's really good. It's on, I watched it on Hulu, but
That might be on there.
there was an episode about cheese and how Kraft invented the Kraft cheese
Single?
brand.
Yeah.
Well, not the single, but it started with uh his cheese and how he made it so cheese could last longer, because until he made a national brand, essentially, because until he came along there was no national brand cheese.
Mm.
But one of the hosts said this, and I believe it to be true, but the Kraft singles to me makes the best grilled
Oh yeah.
cheese sandwich. Like I've
Yeah.
had grilled cheese sandwiches with other cheeses,
It's
but
not the
just
same.
something about the really highly processed Kraft singles cheese tastes delicious.
Oh yeah. It's the way that it melts. It has the right texture. When you pull it apart, it's got the gooiness, the flavor, and all the stuff that's going on in there.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to screen my cousin from Brazil just called me. I gotta call her back later.
Mm.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. When I was in Hawaii last time, I called you, right? We talked
Yeah.
for a little bit. Yeah. So after we talked, like 3 other people called me at the same time. So I was on the phone for like 4 or 5 hours.
That's crazy.
And if you know anything about me, I never call
Yeah, no.
anyone.
No.
Right. Nor do I receive phone calls. Like everyone just texts me or Facebook messages me,
Yeah.
which is way easier than a million phone calls.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, I think people are getting away from calling people.
They are, but it depends on how much information I'm trying to relay.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just trying to I don't know,
See what's
bullshit
up.
or shit
Yeah.
talk or just see what's up, that's fine. If I'm trying to get to like the nitty gritty of some information, like we can't be doing that via text message.
No.
That's too much
Too much
typing.
typing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's something that you like the inauthentic version of more than the authentic?
Oh dang. I don't even know, like that's a tough question. Like trying to think of what I've had that's authentic and then had it
Or it could be vice versa.
modified.
Like you could have had the fake version first, and then you have the real version.
Probably a hamburger.
Okay.
Like I don't consider McDonald's hamburgers like authentic because of the way that they're made. But I'll smash a double McCheese from McDonald's vice like going out and getting a real hamburger.
So for that one, you have to define it a little bit, because if you're talking about an authentic fast food burger, then it's McDonald's. They were the first, right? So they're the realest one,
Then maybe I like that. Maybe that's what I like authentic better than anybody else.
right? And then
I
everybody
don't want
else,
a smash burger. Like I don't want to form my own patties. Uh,
because all the other burgers they're burgers, but they're not like the fast food. I mean, they are fast food, but different than McDonald's, right? Unless you're going to like an actual burger hole in
joint.
the wall
Yeah.
joint where they make all their ground beef patties from scratch right when you walk in.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
because like I was trying to think like growing up in Louisiana, like m- most of all the food was authentic, and the food that I grew up eating was like plain white people food, for a better lack of terms. You know what I
In
mean?
Louisiana, dude, that's not plain white people food. Like you guys have really
I mean,
interesting foods and flavors down there.
like we do, but like gumbo, shrimp etouffee, crawfish etouffee, stuffed chicken. Like there's no, I haven't seen or had anything that wasn't made the way that it was supposed to be. Like my cultural palate uh, consists of more authentic food than unauthentic food, except for like the sushi. Like what food would you even consider unauthentic?
Taco Bell for Mexican food is definitely not authentic,
Okay, all
right? And
right.
I
Okay.
prefer regular Mexican food over that.
Okay. I'll give you another one. Pizza. I like the inauthentic pizza vice the way that it came from Italy.
Yes, but see, even then, you can dig a little bit deeper, right? Like uh, the pizza that we know and love today, did it actually start in Italy or did it start in New England with the Italian immigrants?
I
Right.
think I have no idea, but I think that the concept of it came from Italy,
The proto one,
and then it changed.
yeah,
But I mean, if you're talking like that's just like sushi, right? Sushi came from Japan, and then they made it
changed over
more,
time.
yeah, it changed over time, made it more appealing to Americans.
I mean, Chinese food is the same way though. Chinese food in that we get from Chinese food restaurants here
Yeah,
is very inauthentic compared to Chinese food in China or
yeah,
even in Yokohama, right? The world's largest
that's
Chinatown
still.
outside of China.
Well, I was about to say it's still in
It's the
Japan, bro.
largest Chinatown. It is. It is 100% in Japan, but it's the largest Chinatown outside of China. Right. And the
I
food
didn't
there.
know that.
So, yeah, it is. Fun fact. You learned something today.
Yeah, I did, and I've been
All
there
right.
plenty of times.
Tons of times.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I listed a few. But see, Chinese food's another one, dude. I like the ones that are catered towards American palates more.
I like the kung pao chicken, the orange chicken, the beef and broccoli.
General So's, dude.
Yeah.
Right. But I do like the authentic stuff too. It's just some of the stuff is just um too rich, I guess I'll say.
Mm.
Or just too much.
What do you like in what aspect?
Uh
They
trying
put
to
too much
remember.
Chinese five spice in there for you, or
No, if it's spicy, I'll probably murder it.
yeah.
It's just some of the more bitter flavor profiles I'm not a big fan of.
Mm. I've gotten real big into watching cooking shows on Netflix, like the challenges and
Yeah.
how the chefs go around and go back to how things were made before.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I feel like those types of things would be a lot more interesting to eat than what we're eating nowadays.
I agree with you. And hopefully, like with everything being way more expensive now, people get back into cooking, right? Because I feel, and this is just my personal experience, right? I'm not saying everyone in our age group is like this, but I feel like a lot of people in our age group either like to cook and do it well, like me,
Yeah.
you, Adam, some of the other people that we hang out with, right?
Yeah.
Or they don't cook at all and always eat out,
Yeah.
right? But with COVID, kind of changed the name of the game a little bit. Either you're paying through the roof for that DoorDash or Grubhub, or you're learning how to
Well, I
cook for
mean,
yourself.
they're making it easier nowadays because they have the um, beef box or whatever it is that they just deliver the meals that are
Yeah, I
pre
forgot about that.
all the
We do Misfits Foods.
yeah
Yeah, it's not a I don't know. I like the
Green Chef.
idea. I like the idea of it, but it's not. It's like Target for me. When I go to Target and I'm trying to buy something specific, Target has everything that's close to what I'm looking for,
Not
but
exactly
not
it.
exactly what I'm looking for. So
Yeah.
these things are, I mean, all we do is really Misfit Foods, where you pick what you want, and then they'll ship it to you. So like today's the last day. Actually, we have to put in our Thursday through Sunday. You put in kind of what you're looking for,
Yeah.
and then they'll ship it. Some of it's good, some of it's like you could do better, right? Um, but it's not quite exactly what I would get. Like we just went produce shopping today because the last couple of Misfit food boxes didn't have what we wanted.
Mm. But I'm talking about like the what is that? Blue
But
Apron.
Blue Apron is the same thing though. Like
You pick a
pick the meals,
recipe.
you pick the
Yeah.
recipe, and they send you the ingredients, but they don't always have what you might be craving that
Oh
night,
yeah, no.
right?
No.
So you're kind of stuck
With
in
that.
this box to make that, right, that specific thing, right? You might love it and you might want to eat chicken cordon bleu every single day of the night,
I don't.
or every meal, like that's what you're eating, right? I can't do that. When I meal prep, I can't do more than 3 days in a row of the same thing. Is too much for me. Like
Really?
I'll have to shovel down that third day, and then if there's a fourth one, I won't eat it.
See, I'm different in that aspect. Like if it's well, maybe not, because there's some things that like they'll sit as leftovers in my refrigerator because I wanted it one day, and then the next day I'm like, nah, not so much. Like I got a bag of pulled pork that's been sitting in my refrigerator for a week because just haven't been in the mood to have pulled pork anymore. Like,
when you don't have other options, like you're gonna eat it, but
yeah,
I can't. It's 3 days, man. That's the max. And that third day, like I'm really forcing myself to eat it,
yeah.
right? Only because I'm hungry. But the fourth day, I would rather starve. I can't eat it again. uh, but yeah, I'm the same way. Like we'll have leftovers, and if I don't eat it the very next day, and I wait for when I really want it, I'll probably never eat it,
Yeah.
right? And that includes desserts, dude. A story I like to share is the day Belinda ate my Ben and Jerry strawberry shortcake ice cream,
Oh Lord.
right? So I we bought this thing. I think it was like a Friday or Saturday, right? And we each got our own little pints of ice cream, and we're
Hmm.
watching a movie, eating the pint, right? And I didn't finish mine. I put it in the fridge, right?
Yeah.
Go to work, have duty, work duty, whatever. Whole week, I don't touch it, right? The next week, I don't touch it. So now it's been in the freezer for 2 days
Yeah.
or 2 weeks. And I'm like, you know what? It's like a Friday. We
I
did
want some
really
ice cream.
well. We
Yeah.
did really well that week, right? I'm like, I'm gonna finish that ice cream off, dude. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna put on a TV show and I'm gonna finish that ice cream. And I open up the freezer and it's not there. I'm looking all over for it. It's not there. And then I ask her about it. She's like, oh, she
Oh
gives
yeah,
me
no.
the
Alexis has done the
awkward.
exact same thing to me. Like she finished her pint of ice cream, but mine is like the caramel sutra one with the caramel core inside of it,
Yeah.
and that's like my go-to from Ben and Jerry's. And if I leave it in the freezer for more than 2 days, it'll be gone. She's like, it was in there for 2 days. I'm like, I was saving it. I don't eat
Oh
it
no,
all at once.
we have little food meccas and stuff that we do. Like I can't. When we cook with garlic, right? So if I
Mhm.
make like Spanish rice or just rice in general, I'll use garlic in it. Sometimes I chop the garlic real fine. Sometimes I'm lazy and just use the whole cloves.
Yeah.
If it's the whole cloves, right? And as I'm scooping the rice up, it goes into her plate. It's hers. I cannot take it. I did it once and I almost got stabbed in the face. Right. It's saving the ice cream leftovers for me, right? I
Yeah.
can't. I'm not going to eat it that day or even the next day. Like, but ice cream lasts almost forever,
Yeah.
right? Don't touch it.
Yeah.
It's mine. Um, but just little things like that. There's foods that we prefer that. I
Mhm.
mean, we've been together so long that just don't touch it. She'll eat
Yeah.
it eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's
croissants.
yeah. She'll give me a heads up. She's like, "Can I eat this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go for it." It's been there for like a month.
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff though.
Yeah.
One of the other things I'm working on now too, but I thought I'd have more time in port, but I didn't, was building planters to start growing veggies out here.
Oh yeah, you got the perfect weather for it.
I do. You can grow all year long. Um, been doing a lot of research on that. I didn't know that there were two uh, big varieties of tomatoes, not like individual tomato plants, but like type of plant, right? Like you have
Like,
the determinate and indeterminate potato or tomatoes.
hmm,
Right. Determinate tomatoes, you have to plant every season. Like they grow to a specific height,
yeah.
they'll bear fruit. You collect the fruit, the plant dies, you replant the plant.
Hmm.
Right. Indeterminate, which is what I want to try, but I think I'm going to lose control of it, is
It
it
keeps
will
growing.
keep growing, dude. Wherever the
It's an
stem touch,
infinity tomato.
yeah, it just keeps growing forever and ever and ever. It will produce seasonally like a normal tomato plant does, but it doesn't die, especially if you have nice weather.
Yeah.
But another jacked up part is anywhere where the stem goes into the dirt. So, like, let's say it's growing up and then it comes back down,
That's
right?
another plant.
That will start to grow roots and grow another plant,
That's crazy.
right? So it's like literally creeping along, trying to make as many tomatoes as possible.
That'd be good for salsa though.
What? Growing
Tomatoes.
tomatoes? Yeah,
Yeah.
tomatoes. It's good for salsa, and a lot of the research I was doing, like, it's the beginner home produce plant.
Well,
Like
yeah,
when you want,
because year after year, like you don't have to go and buy new plants or plant new seeds. You just,
well, tomatoes in general. I'm not saying indeterminate. A lot
yeah,
of new growers don't start with indeterminate; they start with a determinate one.
yeah. It's,
Um,
why would you
but
start
yeah,
with the harder thing?
why?
Yeah,
Because if I can nail down the harder thing, dude, then I'm good to go for the rest of the easier things.
you are,
Right. But
but
it's also easy in terms of you can grow a tomato plant in just about anything, like a 5 gallon Home Depot bucket. You can
yeah,
grow one, grow one in that. Right. They sell these planter bags that you can grow. All you need to do is make sure you feed it and water it every day.
that's
That's
crazy.
it. But yeah, it's fun. I built a little mini herb planter and then immediately left to Hawaii for 2 weeks.
And they all died.
Uh, no, I didn't plant anything yet.
Oh,
I built it. There's no soil in it.
uh, that's funny.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to get soil. The gophers might leave me some because I have a ton of gophers in my yard.
That's funny.
Yeah, you have to go knock down the mounds before you mow the yard.
I used to my old house. I used to just run them over.
The gophers or the mounds?
Well, I mean the gophers were never out, but just the
Yeah,
mounds. I'll just spray dirt everywhere.
I I tried doing that, but I also have like a pine tree, and running over the mounds, of the pine tree is just destroying my lawnmower. So, or the pine cones, it drops a lot of
Yeah.
pine cones. Yeah.
Um, what movie was I watching the other day? It's totally not even on topic, but The Atom Project on Netflix about time travel.
I haven't seen it yet. I think it's on my queue. Like I added it to my list, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's got Ryan Reynolds in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good watch. It's about quantum theory and wormholes.
Dude, I'm just like looking at your face right now and your
Mm,
mic is cutting it out.
my mic. Oh,
Yeah. It gave you like a cartoon skull face.
that's funny.
Distract me. I'll check it out, dude. Time travel.
I mean, it's been a topic we've covered before, but I thought it was a pretty interesting
Did
take
it
on.
change your ideas of time travel at all?
No, not really, because I mean they still thought it was possible. You just need a large pulse of electromagnetic energy to open up a wormhole that they could control, and then you could, depending on the amount of energy and where you jumped at, you could go back to a certain year. But it was all, I mean, it was all quantum theory type stuff, way over my head. So
I'm kind of curious about that. Not that in general, but I was thinking the other day too, and we might have covered this, but you know how our solar system is also moving through space?
yes,
So if you cut a hole in the time space continuum, right? Is it going to follow where you are in time and space, or is it going to just rip open a hole where you were?
I don't know.
Right. Like
Um,
if I want to go back in time now, am I going back in time to a space where we aren't yet? Is that what I'm
uh,
opening up to?
yeah, it's too much math for me. Like I don't know how all of that would work, because I know that the new Webb telescope that NASA sent up, um, I don't know why they sent it towards the sun instead of further out into space to look further out, but they sent it towards the sun.
I read it briefly. I think ultimately it's going to go out further, but they sent it towards the sun to use kind of like the slingshot, use
Mm,
the sun's gravity to kind of push
fling
it
it out
out
further.
further with using less power.
Mm. But like the things that they're able to see in the black holes that are further out, I don't know where they go. You know what I mean?
The black holes. Who
Yeah.
says they have to go anywhere?
I mean, everything has to go somewhere though.
No, everything. All right, everything does have to go somewhere, but black hole is a star that collapsed, right?
Yeah.
So the star was huge, massive, and now it's not. So imagine something the size of our sun is now the size of a pen. It's just really, really dense, and everything gets squished into it.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't mean it went anywhere. It just means it got crushed into the smallest point possible. It doesn't go
Oh,
out the other side.
that's a conundrum for me.
Yeah,
I just I can't wrap my head around that type of stuff.
to
Like
to to me, the way I imagine it is because something was there and now it's not, doesn't mean it went away. It just means it imploded in on itself. So
mm,
it's now just a teeny tiny little thing,
yeah.
right? And it's so all of that mass being concentrated in a tiny point uh is just sucking everything else in there to fill that void that was once there.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like Ant-Man, dude. Ant-Man maintains his fucking weight and strength when he's tiny. That's why he can knock people out with a punch. Right. Yet somehow he can still ride ants and not crush them, which
Yeah.
doesn't
Make any
make
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
But
See?
we'll ignore that part because it's a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is what it is, though, dude.
I mean, it is.
All right. Like no one will ever be able to actually go into a black hole and see what's in there.
Not yet.
Dude, no, I don't think ever.
We don't know what's out there.
I mean, the amount it literally sucks in light.
I'm sure there's going to be somebody that makes something that can withstand the pressure, some type of camera that they can send through a black hole that's a million light years away.
So they could probably send something out to the black hole, right? But they don't have anything that can shoot enough energy out of the hole to overcome something that literally absorbs beams of light into
Never know.
itself.
Yeah.
Like it sucks up light. So radio waves, anything you use won't be able to come out of there.
What if they put it on a tether?
Either the thing the tethered is anchored to will snap, or the thing the tether is anchored to will go into the black hole as well.
They just need like a split second of like fiber optic cable just to send something back.
I don't think you'll be able to. I think it'll just get sucked in right away. Kind of a cool thought experiment. that I watched about black holes was if you were an astronaut, I forgot where I saw this, dude. Wish I remember so I could put the link up to it. If you were an astronaut and you were hurtling towards a black hole, right? Before you got sucked into the black hole, like when you were on the event horizon portion of it, right,
Mm-hmm.
right outside, the pretty much the point of no return. The moment you cross that point, you would see yourself twice, right? You would see yourself in the center of the black hole being crushed to death, right, at a molecular level.
Yeah,
But you would also see yourself outside of the black hole not being crushed to death,
that's crazy.
right? Because your light is just stretched all the way out. So you see both points of where you were and where you're going to be at the same exact time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then you have you present as you're floating through that until you no longer exist.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you want to tether yourself to that.
Yeah, why not?
to get
Got to find out what's on the other
a
side.
little bit of data. There's nothing on the other side. It's
You don't
collapsed
know
in and of
that.
itself. You're right. I don't know that.
But
You're right.
so what's the difference between a black hole and a wormhole then?
A wormhole, number one, I don't think we've found any yet, but a wormhole is literally what it describes. It's a hole in the fabric of space and time with an opening on the other end. It's not a collapse of a star.
So it's just a theory right now.
Yes, it is a tunnel, if you will, right? A black hole is a star that collapsed, right? So think of it like like a submarine,
Mm-hmm.
real deep, right? Once that submarine collapses or has like a breach in the hull or something like that, all the pressure goes out and the submarine gets crushed like a can.
Yeah.
Now, on a molecular level or atomic level, I think that's what a black hole is.
Yeah.
Right? Everything just gets squished into it.
All right. I'll buy that for $1.
Yep. I'm not selling it, but if I did, I'd sell it to you for $1.
There you go.
What else we got going on?
Oh, not too much. I'm fixing to go let my kid make dinner, so I'm gonna see how that goes.
Yep.
So hopefully the house doesn't burn down.
It probably won't, even though it's really easy to do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's actually gonna make orange chicken tonight from Costco.
Your son?
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Lincoln tries to help me, but he doesn't really. We did make brownies together the other day, though.
You made a
pretty good.
brownie, is what you did.
What?
You made one brownie.
And then I cut it up into smaller
There
brownies.
you go. Yeah.
Right?
You didn't make brownies. You made one.
I made one, and then you slice it up,
Yep.
right, into little tinier brownies, so you don't feel as bad when you eat 4 of them.
Yeah. You know, have you seen that that you put in $20 and then I put in $20 and then I give you $30 and we both make $10 thing?
No,
You'll have to get on the TikToks and have Belinda show you, but it's a complete sham.
it is a sham. Like the way you explain that to me, somebody can't. Like, no,
Yeah.
somebody didn't get $10. Is what
Well,
happened.
somebody lost $30 is what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because my wife was like, I don't understand how this works. And so like I was putting the kids down and I was looking at it. I was like, there's extra money. And then she was like, I gotta see it. So I got out some fake dollars and I was like, here's your $20 and here's my $50.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so you put in $20 and then I put in $20 and then I pay you $30.
Yeah.
And she was like, we both made $10. I was like, no, because I started out with how much money? She was like, $50. I was like, how much money do I have now? She was like, 40. I was like, I lost $10.
Yeah.
So complete sham.
Yeah. No, it's so easy to trick people into believing that too.
Yeah.
It's dumb. I remember when we were in Connecticut, Belinda wanted to get into what was it? LuLaRoe. Remember that?
Yeah, like the spandex people.
Not Lululemon. It's like clothes. It's yoga pants essentially. Same
Okay.
shit, right?
A pyramid scheme.
Yes, like housewives sell to other housewives type
Yeah.
deal. They had more to it, but I was taking a business management class at the time, which coincidence, right? Complete coincidence.
Yeah.
So she wants me to help invest in this thing so she can get started, and I refused,
Yeah.
right? Not because I thought it was a pyramid scheme, although it was, and they're either still going through or recently went through some legal battles for this, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, who is buying this, right? Because in my head, you bought from the company and they're going to send you what they send you. You don't even get to pick,
Yeah.
right? And then you're selling it to her, but she has her own stuff that she's trying to sell,
Yeah.
that she's selling to another person, and that person's selling to you. So you're all selling to each other, but nobody's making any money
Yeah.
in the
No.
company that just made you buy all these things,
Yeah.
right? If they really cared about you, they wouldn't let you sell where they already have people selling,
Mm.
right? You'd have to go sell somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's complete and utter sham. Like
Yeah.
you're going to be out $10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing. I was up late last night, and I was like, this is ridiculous.
No, people fall for it, dude. That and everyone forgets their order of operations for all those math problems that you see all the time, like the
Oh
2
yeah.
plus 4 times 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Don't forget, listeners, there's an order, right? If it's in the parentheses, you do that first.
Yeah.
All
All
right, dude.
Yep. You can catch us on the Instagram. It's got the link tree there. It's all the links.
Yep.
Go to Two Dummies Podcast, and you'll find everything that you need.
Yep.
All right. Until next time, man.
Later, dude.
Later, bro.